Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Tuesday, the 26th of December. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us this morning. We hope that all of you had a nice Christmas holiday. Coming up on today's show, we talk with a digital creator whose recent work has pushed her to take a closer look at the lives that make up a tent encampment in Clarksville. Coming up, we will share with you where you can see her visual narrative of our at-risk neighbors, what she plans to do in the future, and how in-depth she would like to go to share these stories. We also talk with our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, about a 3-generation bakery in Guthrie, Kentucky. Yes, I know it's hard to think about sweets or anything savory right now, but they're open for one more week before they close down for a month to take a little break themselves because they've been busy. And I promise you, this is a spot that you can go to find cinnamon rolls, cakes, pies, and more. He'll have that for us in just a little bit. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Beginning January 1, Delta Dental of Tennessee is introducing enhanced benefits for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
It'll include extra cleaning times for people with special needs, extra time for exams. More importantly, we will create a training program that any dentist office in the state can go online and pick that up.
At Delta Dental, we believe that the quality of oral health care should be accessible and inclusive for all.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Witness more than 1,000 handcrafted Chinese lanterns featuring brand new designs, including towering mythical beasts, a life-sized Santa's workshop, and a 100-foot-long dragon. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. Homelessness is increasingly becoming more of an issue for many areas, not an issue. People are experiencing homelessness, losing their homes, food insecurities, and so much more. But to shine a light on what's happening in the Montgomery County area and what we know as a tent city, a tent encampment, we have Melanie Garcia and her recent show. She's a photographer here in the area and beyond. Many people know who you are and they've seen your work. But she is highlighting the struggle and the spirit of those that are living in those encampments. And she did that in a recent show. First off, Melanie, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What gave you that idea to go out there to kind of show, their way of life of, living in these encampments?
Well, I recently, about 3 months ago, joined a life group with Life Point, a Bible study, and a gentleman that is in my life group, John, is the executive director of Loaves and Fishes, a nonprofit that feeds the hungry Monday through Friday. And he was just asking for prayer. And I do a lot of social media marketing in town, and that includes, offering photos or video to use as content. So I offered that service, like, can I come in and do that for you? So that's kind of what started that relationship of kind of understanding the need a little bit. couple of days later, I go and take some photos of an artist, something I do all the time. But I stumbled upon this tent encampment that I had no idea about. I've seen a couple homeless in the community downtown and have had conversations. We have a little bit of a relationship. Then a couple of days later, I get a phone call from Lorenzo Swinton Gallery downtown, and he asked, hey, would you ever be interested in showing any of your photography? Just the caveat is no landscape. I have a ton of pictures of people in town, but my immediate pull was I should maybe do something with Loaves and Fishes and kind of shine a light on what John has been describing as a struggle, that they're having to feed more people, that it's doubled recently. So I thought, wow, what a interesting way that maybe I could shine a light on this. So I went into Loaves and Fishes just to kind of take some maybe promotional photos and videos. But then once Lorenzo approached me, I kind of thought of it of a different way, approached John, said, hey, do you think any of these individuals that are served here every day would allow me to take their photos? So I went into it with the understanding that I might not take any pictures that day, and I might not get anything for this particular show. I knew I had a lot of photos of other humans that I'm involved with. I could use those. So I was just going in it for an experience. I got there and sat down. We shared just conversation. The Loaves and Fishes opens at 8 a.m. and they don't serve a meal till 10:30. So there's this community and camaraderie that happens every single morning. So I joined that. And just kind of wanted to understand, but I sat with my camera, was explaining to everyone, like, this is kind of what I'm doing, what I'm hoping for. If you want to share your narrative in the way of visual and allow me to do that, tell your story in that way, awesome. If you want nothing to do it, I get it. So sat with them in the community, then kind of shared a meal, understood. I explained to some of them why I was there, kind of what I wanted to find out more about, where they lived. Why they began this journey, how they're served. I just wanted to know as much as possible and how I could shine that light. So that's kind of where I came up with pictures on each person, the story on each individual, whether it was they didn't want to show their face and they were a veteran and wanted to show how much work they've done, or they were a plumber and they were proud of the age on their hands or the sun on their face. So there was a lot. We got deep and we talked about where they lived, the struggle of not having warm clothes or dry clothes, but also the community that they've created. So I got to learn a lot. And then because we talked about personal things like where they live, how we only carry what we need. I did get into the conversation of, hey, I found this area where it looks like people are living. Do you guys know about this? And so some of them shared, I live there. So I felt like that was a good opportunity for like, hey, maybe I can get pictures of that. So I asked permission. I didn't feel the first time that I went into the encampment that was appropriate, but I asked permission, then I went back. And we talked about where they used, where they lived. And so I got that second half of photos.
Looking at the pictures, and I don't remember who said this or where it's written, but the eyes are the window to the soul. And that is something you can definitely get a sense of as you're looking through the pictures, especially when the individuals are looking directly at you. Mm-hmm. What was that feeling for you as you're sitting down to want to share, this area and these people? What was that like for you?
This is a huge departure of anything that I do. So I get paid to take someone's photos. Someone will pay me to take their headshot, or essentially I am hired to make someone look good. Mm-hmm. And I am hired to bring the fun out of someone. And this is a very serious subject. Like, if you know me, I'm pretty bubbly and upbeat. And so this is really a departure. And so it was I see a lot of these people and I talk to a lot of them every day. And so it was extremely powerful. Like, I walk by you every day and I say a hey, or I buy you a coffee, and that's the end of it. And for me, that's okay. Like, for me, it was okay. But then when I actually bumped into where they live, sat and had a meal, knew the actual story, it became so much deeper and it drove me in a different way. And it made me look at things in a really spectacular, different way. I'm not a black and white human as far as taking pictures. I love to show someone's personality, their candidness. So this was extremely deep and really got to my soul. From taking each picture to editing them was extreme. It was extremely emotional. Going back into the tent encampment was extremely hard for me. It was, I broke down. I had moments where I had to just walk away because I met these people, I heard their story, and now I'm going in their home without them there. So that was really struck me, and I still am thinking about that, and it is still affecting even my daily life. Like, I think about, you know, how fortunate we are in the things that we have. And I just have such an abundance of blessings and family and health. And I can afford my medicine, you know, just so much. So I got so much out of it that I hope that it's shown through those images and that it's shown through the book, that there's these people were extremely vulnerable with me, extremely vulnerable. And so I felt extremely blessed that I was given that gift, and that I'm hoping that there's some way that I could evoke that feeling and that meaning, how great it's been for me in such a short amount of time. All this happened within a week.
Wow. And what you're seeing here, and you've been seeing images from the show that Melanie was a part of, and you see a lot of black and white. Why go with the black and white concept versus the color?
There was a big rawness I felt from the black and white because it's such a departure of everything that I do. Mm-hmm. I felt like you saw a lot more of the mood behind everything. I kept very specific ones colored, and I tried to change or bring out in Lightroom, so you could do that in Photoshop, which is nice, is focus more on one hue of a color or not. So I did that as well. The vulnerability and the hope and the grace and the faith of these people, I tried to use red and oranges, just because a lot of these people were just faithful in their relationship with God and their faith in Jesus. So I thought that was really important to bring the reds out, the blood of Christ, and really show, like, even though they're going through this, there's still that like peak of hope. There's still that something that they hold on to and hold so firm. And I thought that was such a cool thing to relate to with them. So I did try to bring that color out more than any other color when I did bring a color out.
Well, in the show, the title of the show, when I got your flyer, Through the Lens, the book here, Struggle and Spirit, a visual narrative of our at-risk neighbors. So not only wanting to highlight the beauty of the photography done by Melanie Garcia, but also the work that she's trying to do to bring recognition to the homeless community, to the encampment there, and the work of a nonprofit who does incredible work for our homelessness in the Montgomery County area, Loaves and Fishes. When is your next show? And where can we see more of the work that you've done and educate ourselves a little bit more of the encampment here and the lives that make it up?
So I laugh when you say, where's your next show? Because someone keeps asking that. And this was my first show, and I believe this is my only show. This is not really like my thing, as I was, trying to explain. I really merely feel like I was a vessel, and this is just something that I was supposed to do. With that said, the photos are in Lorenzo Swinton Gallery all month. It's in between Strawberry and Franklin.
Yeah, so you can't miss it right there. The windows, from the outside looking in, you can tell what the studio is.
Yes,
so it is right there.
Yes.
So we can still see your work and look through this until when?
I believe it goes all through the month till the next art walk. So that's the beginning of January. It'll be there till the beginning of January. We're selling the books. If you want to purchase a book, those are $25 and they're selling them there as well. Or we still have pieces of work that are for sale. And again, that goes to Loaves and Fishes. I mean, I would hope that we could do something again. I took 2,000 pictures. So I was extremely inspired, obviously. So I have plenty to work with. I am going to go back with Loaves and Fishes in YAPAC to the tent encampment. We plan to do, this was our visual narrative. We plan to do a written narrative with the visual narrative and hope to do something in the spring for that. So maybe we'll do another show with that. I'm not completely positive, but
Where can we also follow your work?
you could follow all of my work at Watch the Throne Media. So that's my business that I do social media marketing and events. I'll take photos and video as well, obviously, to post and all of that. So I will start, I do post some of this work on there. So I'll continue to see what comes of this project, this adventure, and I'll continue to announce things on that.
Well, you do beautiful work. And again, the pictures that you have captured are extraordinary. Just some of the ones, not even of the faces of people, but of the hands picking the food, of just the table, just the setting of Loaves and Fishes. So if you would like to know more about Loaves and Fishes, I encourage you to go to their website, loavesandfishes.org or .com. But it is Loaves and Fishes. You can Google that and, learn more about that nonprofit and how you can give to it if you would like.
Yes, they actually are also starting a membership as well. So you could give a certain amount every month, very similar to like a subscription that you would possibly, do every year. And then they also are always looking for volunteers.
Okay.
So, so you want to give in that way and you're not able to give monetarily, you could always volunteer. It's a really just great organization, especially in the community that we benefit from.
And not only will you be giving something back that is worthwhile, but you'll be getting something in return. And sometimes the best give that you can give is your time. Thank you, Melanie, so very much for this. Again, Melanie Garcia, On the Throne Media. Again, beautiful photographer.
Watch the Throne.
Watch the Throne, On the Throne. Oh my gosh. Watch the Throne Media.
Watch the Throne Media.
My apologies. Thank you so much for your time. Now, before I let you go, there is something coming up at ArtLink that we wanted to highlight. What is that?
So ArtLink, it has a whole bunch of new classes that are available. They moved to their new location on Franklin. That's just right across the street from the Roxy, which we're really excited about. They have a whole bunch of new classes, but one of the classes I did want to highlight was they have a parent paint class that is connected to a kids paint class. So if you wanted to have a girls' night and you guys have a bunch of kids, you could do that. Or you want to have a date night or whatnot, and you could have your kids paint while you're painting, and they're having pizza and paint for the kids, and then sips and paint for the adults. They are doing that on New Year's Eve, which is perfect. So if you wanted to do a paint and sip, with us, you could do that, or and drop your kids off. Everybody's fingerprinted, and it's great. So you just feel really nice about leaving your kids, or if you wanted to go do one of the events that downtown's doing, and you want to just have your kids there. So it's kind of an open thing.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. ArtLink, there is always just a lot of fun that can be had right there in their
for
space.
kids, adults, everyone.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We'll be right back.
This Christmas, score big and give her what she truly wants. A diamond bracelet, earrings, or new diamond ring. And now, with Earthmind and lab-grown diamonds, we can match any budget. All offered with interest-free financing. Or trade in your old jewelry for a new, sparkly look. Score big points with diamonds from Hancock Diamonds. Hancock Diamonds, Goodlettsville.
Hey, what did I tell you about throwing football indoors?
At Implant and General Dentistry, we're proud to offer dental care you can trust. Our team, led by Dr. Andrew Flips, is dedicated to serving our community with the highest quality of care. We offer comprehensive dental exams, cleanings, whitening, and more. With our compassionate and experienced team, you'll be able to smile with confidence. Come experience the difference for yourself. Call us today to schedule an appointment or visit our website to learn more.
Sherry's Hope is dedicated to sharing the hope of Christ, protecting the health of our community, and supporting those who are fighting cancer. You can be a champion of hope this season. When you give monthly to Sherry's Hope, you help meet the needs of families in our community as they are battling cancer. Your monthly gift of $10 or more gives hope all year. Together, we can make a difference.
At Chapels, we pride ourselves on offering a wide variety of the freshest fruits and vegetables, handpicked just for you. We have a wide selection of the freshest, highest quality meats that will leave your taste buds craving more. Our friendly staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. We believe in treating every customer like family because at Chapels, your family is our family. We've been locally owned and operated for over 60 years. You can visit any of our Chapels locations in Dixon, White Bluff, McEwen, and Centerville.
There is a spot in Guthrie where you can just get delicious goodness. I'm talking cakes and cinnamon rolls and fried pies and loaves of bread. And let me tell you, this time of year, that is just what we want to snack on. Isn't that right? To tell us all about this particular business in the Guthrie community, we have our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, with us because he's already been there. Tom, tell me it was delicious.
Everything was good. And I have enough carbs that I ought to be running right now.
Oh, no. Tell me about this bakery. And okay. I had it in my head and I don't want to mispronounce it.
Nope, no problem. It's Schlabach's Bakery. The people who know it often call it the Amish Bakery.
Okay.
But the owners say, yeah, we have an Amish heritage, but the word Amish has never been in the name of the business. It's Schlabach's. And it's just really good. They've been going since 1970. Wow. They're on the third generation of family ownership and operation. It's out in the country, but you can't miss it. It's highly conspicuous down the highway. And it's not, 6 or 8 miles off of I-24 at exit 4. But it's wonderful. I mean, it's pies and cakes and donuts and fried pies. And especially breads. They just do it all. They're very, very good.
I want to pick up on the donut part, because that's how this started back in the 70s with donuts.
I think it's a delightful story. of the 3 generations, think of as grandmother, daughters, and grandson. The grandmother was sending the daughters to school, riding the school bus, and she was sending them with donuts for their own lunches. And the story goes, their friends wanted them so badly that the girls, or 3 daughters, they were selling them to their classmates. And somebody saw the entrepreneurial spark hit, and grandma started making enough donuts to sell purposely. So it grew from there.
How beautiful that is. And now 3 generations later, to keep that up, to keep those recipes from grandma, and now, that 3rd generation making and just building on the donut.
Yeah. James Schlabach is a guy I met when I visited the last time. Delightful guy. He has a 10-year-old son whom he really hopes someday will be the 4th generation there. The store has a nice retail showroom. And all the bakery action is happening right behind there. It's a nice stop. It's a good destination, easy to find, and boy, you go home happy. It was kind of funny. I said, are there peaks and valleys in what you do? And he said, yep, it's pies at Thanksgiving time, cakes at Christmas time, and cinnamon rolls and bread all the time. Now, of course, they make pies and cakes all year long, but he said, man, there's a big demand, and especially odd, not my family, but he says coconut cakes are a big deal at Christmas for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned fried pies too. Do they do a variety, or do they pick just one flavor and go with it?
Oh, no. And by the way, they are very proud. They make everything there. They don't buy fillings. They don't buy icings. They make everything. He said, if you look at the shelves, about the only thing we don't make ourselves are the jars of honey and the jars of sorghum. But the fried pies are chocolate and apple and cherry and blueberry and lemon. You have your choices.
Oh, yes, please. Now, can you sit inside there and eat it, or is it one of those you buy it and then you just take it with you?
It's buy it and go. They don't they're not set up for eating in house. But I suspect that if you bought a donut or two, you could stand there and talk with them for a while.
I'd have to say buy one, eat, and continue shopping.
Right.
All right, if you're in Guthrie, so Schlabach's Bakery, instead of heading to like downtown Guthrie, you go the opposite direction.
Yep, out past the Pink Elephant. And I'm sorry, I can't call the highway number, but it's very easy to find. And check their operating schedule. It's not always what you might think it is. It's a family business, and they have their own patterns.
That they do. And again, their break time is coming up. So they are great 11 months a year, 11 months, but you guys, they take a month off.
They take January off to chill out.
After all that baking?
James said they have plenty of stuff other to do than bake every day of the first of the year. So they take January off. If you've got a carb craving, you need to, after the end of December, you need to wait till February.
Yes. Oh, well, get in there and buy those before the January time, and then just look forward to it in February. Thank you, Tom, for sharing Schlabach's Bakery with us this morning.
Delighted to. Y'all keep traveling.
Thank you. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Grin Doctors, your trusted pediatric dentistry and orthodontics practice. Achieve healthy, beautiful smiles with our expert care. At Grin Doctors, we are committed to your child's oral health and well-being. Trust Grin Doctors, your pediatric dental home for exceptional care. We go above and beyond to ensure the comfort and satisfaction of our young patients. Grin Doctors Kids Dental and Orthodontics is right down the street in Old Hickory, TN. Easy to get to and in your neighborhood.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 no-danger first wager. That's right. When you place your first bet in Zen Sports, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to a $1,000 maximum if the bet loses. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 customer support and faster withdrawals like Zen Sports. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
At Fred's Flooring, we're your source for quality flooring options. Our extensive experience and knowledge in the industry means we have the expertise to get the job done right. From carpet to tile, hardwood to laminate, and luxury vinyl, we have everything you need to find the perfect floor for your home. As the Main Street Award Favorite Floor Store winner for 2023, we know what it takes to satisfy our customers. And with our convenient financing options, you can get your dream floors now and pay over time. Visit fredsfloors.com or call us today.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. See more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Thanks for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.